They say that history is written by the victors, but in this city, history was written by the ash. Imagine waking up in a paradise of marble and sun, only to realize that by sunset, your entire world would be buried under 6 meters of fire and stone. This isn't just a story about a volcano. It's a story about a Tuesday that lasted 2,000 years. This is Pompeii, the city that died in a heartbeat, but refused to be forgotten. In the year 79 AD, Pompeii was a thriving Roman city. It sat at the foot of what everyone believed was just a mountain, a beautiful backdrop to a bustling life. Its streets were paved, lined with shops, bakeries, and thermopolia, the ancient equivalent of our modern fast food joints. People went about their days, buying bread, discussing politics in the forum, relaxing in ornate public baths, and cheering on gladiators in the amphitheater. It was a city alive with commerce, art, and the everyday dramas of its 20,000 residents. They had no idea they were living on a ticking time bomb. For centuries, Mount Vesuvius had been dormant. The fertile volcanic soil it provided was a blessing, allowing vineyards and orchards to flourish. The people of Pompeii and the surrounding towns like Herculaneum saw the mountain not as a threat, but as a source of their prosperity. There had been warning signs. Sure, a massive earthquake had rocked the region 17 years earlier, in 62 AD, causing widespread damage. But Romans were used to tremors. They simply rebuilt, making their homes and public buildings even grander than before. They saw it as a test of their resilience, not a prelude to annihilation. Then came that fateful morning, believed to be in late October. The day started like any other. The markets were opening, fishermen were casting their nets in the Bay of Naples, and children were playing in the peristyle gardens of their family villas. Around 1 in the afternoon, the mountain that had watched over them for generations broke its silence with a deafening roar. Vesuvius erupted, blasting a column of gas, rock, and superheated ash, an astonishing 20 miles into the sky. The sun disappeared. The sky turned black as a plume of volcanic debris blotted out the light, casting a terrifying, permanent midnight over the city. Panic set in. For those who understood the immediate danger, there was a frantic scramble to escape. Some tried to flee towards the sea, hoping to find boats. Others gathered their most precious belongings, their families, and ran for the city gates, desperate to outpace the falling storm of pumice and ash. But for many, it was already too late. The sheer volume of falling material made escape nearly impossible. Roofs began to collapse under the weight. The air grew thick and choked with toxic gases and fine ash, making every breath a struggle for survival. As the hours wore on, the situation grew more dire. The initial phase of the eruption buried the city in feet of light pumice stone. But the worst was yet to come. In the early hours of the next morning, the eruption column collapsed. This triggered a series of pyroclastic cirrus fast-moving, superheated clouds of gas and volcanic matter, traveling at hundreds of miles per hour. These lethal waves were hotter than an oven, incinerating everything and everyone in their path instantly. The first surge destroyed Herculaneum, but Pompeii's walls gave its remaining residents a false sense of security. It was the later surges that finally swept over the city, sealing its fate and that of anyone left inside. In less than 24 hours, Pompeii vanished from the face of the earth. It was buried under nearly 20 feet of volcanic material, frozen in time. The city and its people were lost to memory, becoming little more than a legend mentioned in a few ancient texts. For almost 1,700 years, Pompeii slept beneath layers of earth and time, its story untold, its final moments a mystery. Farmers worked the land above, completely unaware of the perfectly preserved city that lay just beneath their feet. Then, in the 18th century, the lost city was rediscovered by accident. A group of surveyors, digging a canal, stumbled upon ancient walls and artifacts. This sparked what would become one of the most significant archaeological projects in history. As excavators carefully peeled back the layers of ash and pumice, an incredible sight was revealed. It wasn't just ruins, it was a snapshot of Roman life. They found houses with their furniture intact, murals on the walls still vibrant with color, and loaves of bread left in ovens, carbonized but perfectly preserved. The streets, the temples, the theaters, it is all there. It was as if the inhabitants had just stepped out for a moment. This level of preservation was unheard of. The volcanic ash had acted as a perfect seal, protecting the city from the elements and the passage of time. For the first time, historians and archaeologists could walk through an authentic Roman city, not just read about it. They could see how people lived, what they ate, what they valued, and even what they feared. One of the most haunting and poignant discoveries was made by an archaeologist named Giuseppe Fiorelli in the 1860s. As his team excavated, they noticed strange, hollow cavities in the hardened ash. Fiorelli had an ingenious idea. He carefully injected these voids with liquid plaster, let it set, and then chipped away the surrounding ash. What was revealed was heartbreaking. The plaster had filled the spaces left by the decomposed bodies of the victims, creating perfect casts of them in their final moments. These plaster casts capture the human tragedy of Pompeii in a way nothing else can. We see a mother shielding her child, a man curled in a final, protective posture, a dog still chained to its post, writhing in its last moments. These aren't just artifacts, they are the ghosts of Pompeii, the silent witnesses to the city's last day. They tell a deeply personal story of fear, love, and desperation. They transform the disaster from an abstract historical event into a tangible human experience, connecting us directly to the people who lived and died there 2,000 years ago. Today, Pompeii is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the world's most visited archaeological parks. Millions of people walk its stone streets every year, peering into the villas of the wealthy, the humble bakeries, and the bustling taverns. But what's truly remarkable is that the story of Pompeii is still being written. Only about 2/3 of the city has been excavated. New discoveries are constantly being made, offering fresh insights into Roman life and the city's final, tragic hours. Recently, archaeologists have uncovered new frescoes, intact skeletons, and even a fast food stall with traces of the food that was being served. Each new find adds another piece to the puzzle, painting an ever clearer picture of this lost world. Modern technology, like ground-penetrating radar and DNA analysis, is helping us understand more than ever before. We can analyze the skeletons to learn about the health and diet of the population, and study the volcanic deposits to better understand the eruption itself. Pompeii is more than just a ruin. It's a time capsule. It's a powerful reminder of both the fragility of life and the incredible resilience of history. The same volcano that destroyed the city also preserved it for posterity, giving us an unparalleled window into the ancient world. It shows us that even in the face of absolute destruction, stories survive. The people of Pompeii were silenced in an instant, but thanks to the ash that entombed them, their voices can still be heard to millennia later, telling us about their lives, their loves, and their last terrible day. Their story, written in stone and ash, refuses to be forgotten. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time to the lost city of Pompeii. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most incredible tales. Let me know in the comments what historical event you'd like to explore next. See you in the next video.